This is CJ's Dream Garage. In this video, I'm going to be comparing the OTTO 118 resin model compared to a SOLIDO die-cast metal, also in 118 scale. I was able to get both of these online from suppliers in Europe. The SOLIDO is a cheaper model, about half the price of the OTTO. The OTTO is a resin, of course. The resin models do not have any opening doors, and the wheels do turn on this particular model, but not all models. In fact, this one is probably one of the smoothest rolling tires I've ever had on a model, and it's very solid, quite heavy. The SOLIDO doors, only the front doors open, so the driver and passenger front doors. The hood and the trunk do not open on this model. As far as the details, as you can see on the front here, both have a great look. The SOLIDO one unfortunately has broken pieces on the bottom corners for the part of the spoiler that curved up and into the grille. The SOLIDO is a GTA version, so it does have the race hook in red there with the yellow arrow pointing down in outline. What you'll notice on this is that the OTTO on the left, Alfa Romeo Giulia, has way nicer headlights detailing, and there's a lot more silver kind of nuance inside, and the actual bulb looks like a bulb. It looks like glass, whereas the SOLIDO one just looks like plastic. Both have that nice black rim around the headlight. Also, the Giulia by OTTO, they have done a very nice job of the grille. It looks more mesh-like, and you can see right through it. The only problem is I found with this particular model is that the top part of the grille, the top part of that V shape where the Alfa Romeo badge is, it's a little bit uneven, and so it's not the best resin model pour or molding. So it kind of blends the grille, the black part kind of meshes with the white at different points. So it's surprising that for a resin model, it's actually not as good as the die-cast model here. Whereas on the Alfa Romeo Giulia GTA by SOLIDO here, you can see that the grille is very distinct, very crisp in terms of the black and the white separate. And so that's a big difference I noticed. The SOLIDO also has a black roof, black painted roof. It doesn't have any carbon fiber print on it. Also on both of these cars, they are different models from different years. I believe the SOLIDO is a 2022, and perhaps the OTTO one is an older version. But the grille looks somewhat different a little bit with the spoiler, the splitter at the front, and the little vents over the side of the end of the bottom part of the grille is different as well. Whereas the SOLIDO just has little slits right in front of the tire for that vent there, whereas the OTTO version of the Giulia just has those little kind of crescent moon shape. On the back here, you can see as well that the SOLIDO now on the left, the OTTO on the right. The SOLIDO has the dual exhaust in the back. It's very plain, barely toned, a little bit of gray plastic. The lights at the bottom, the left one is intact. The right one is missing, unfortunately, the signal lights. The diffuser is quite large because this is the GTA model. And the taillights are amazing on this one. They really got this one looking really nice. It's kind of more of a tinted glass look, and it's got variants in terms of the white opaque glass in the middle, the red on top, and a kind of a darker tone tinted window all the way around, kind of giving it a nice little rim around it. The GTA symbol is really nice. The Alfa Romeo in black and white only is part of the GTA series. And I love the printing of the Giulia GTA there as well. And it has a bigger spoiler, same shape as the Giulia on the right, but much bigger, and it does have a carbon fiber print. The SOLIDO actually has the defrost lines on the back window as well, which is a nice touch for more realism. On the OTTO on the right, you have a beautiful GTA or a GIULIA, sorry, print on the license plate. The GIULIA badge, Alfa Romeo badge, is beautiful. It's kind of embossed and raised. And then you have the GIULIA just over the right taillight. The taillights aren't quite as in depth on this one. They're more just red with a little bit of nuance of shape inside. There is a nice fin at the top of the roof. Again, it's not painted black like the Solido. And there's dual exhaust on both sides. I kind of like the look of both equally. They're both unique in terms of the exhaust feel. But yeah, not as big a diffuser on the OTTO. But you can see some of the lines are a lot more crisp on the OTTO, and they have attention to detail on the bumper. You can see the little holes for access points for attaching the bumper that are on the real car, whereas the Solido is just plain white. Also, you'll notice too that the OTTO is a much brighter white, whereas the Solido is kind of more pale, but it is metallic as well. So I like both colors. The paint job on the OTTO is much better. It's just a lot more uniform, whereas the GIULIA GTA by Solido, it's beautiful, like metal flicks in it, but sometimes in different light, it can look very different in terms of even between the doors and the rest of the model. But yeah, it gives you a good sense of the differences. Again, like on the back, there's not a whole lot of difference in terms of the look of it here, other than the missing bottom right signal light on the bottom of the GTA. But the headlights, or the taillights I mean, are very good looking on the Solido model, and they're okay on the OTTO. As far as the side profile here, you can see on the Alfa Romeo GIULIA GTA by Solido, the black rims look really stunning. The whole stance of the vehicle looks amazing, other than the broken splitter at the front there that wraps around the side. It's a gorgeous look. However, you will notice that the door that does open, unfortunately, kind of has a big gap in it right behind that intake behind the front wheel. And so yeah, the whole profile looks pretty amazing except for that door. But of course it does give you that one door open, which is kind of strange, to be quite honest. I don't know why Solido went kind of part way and only did one door, but it can look good in certain situations just having that one door open. The back door, you can see, is much more sleek and doesn't have those gaps. Whereas on this OTTO, you can see that the doors are very crisp, very tight, much like you would see on the real vehicle. And so sometimes, even though maybe I don't prefer to have a resin model with the closed off doors and not able to have open access, sometimes it does give the better look. And so you can see those very small tight lines on the doors, both the front and the back door, along the bottom, along that sill at the bottom as well, and also that line that comes down the body from the back left tail light down to the tire as well. And there's also one that comes down from the headlight too. And so yeah, that's definitely something that I'm learning to kind of look out for in different models, and to see how resin sometimes knocks out of the park better. So in this case, the side profile on this Alfa Romeo GIULIA by OTTO succeeds and surpasses the Solido, because there's no need to open with metal. You can't on a resin model, and so it's a much tighter fit. And in this case too, they added the 4-leaf clover right above that vent. It's like a sticker that's actually embossed and kind of rises from the car, and it's a very bright white with a silver lining around it, and then the green leaf clover. And also the rims on this car are amazing as well. And so those are a few of the differences. I think the main one is that door gap, and you can see in the trunk gap as well on the Solido. But that door gap is the biggest difference that I find in most die-cast that are not really high-end, and even some high-end models too. So thanks for watching, and I hope this helps you in your venture.